Hey, I'm Gory Movie, and I'm a horror addict, and today we're doing a book haul. First up, we have Silver by Rhiannon Held. It's about a girl who's a werewolf, but she can't change. She gets caught in another pack's territory, but instead of killing her, the wolf that finds her decides to let her live. Everything I've heard about this book has been great, and it is published by Tor Books that also published Anna Dressed in Blood, which I loved, so I'm looking forward to giving this one a read. I also have Good Neighbors by Russell C. Connor. I don't accept a whole lot of book review requests, but this one sounded really awesome, so when the publisher told me about it, I had to say yes. It's about a guy that moves into this complex that begins emanating this really strange sound they end up calling the squall. It makes everybody go balls crazy. Husbands start imprisoning their wives, children start butchering their parents. And so our guy teams up with a few others that are unaffected, and they try to find their way to safety. This sounds brutal and reminds me a little bit of Cell, which I also enjoyed, so I'm looking forward to checking this out. Another review copy I received was Prince of Nightmares by John McKee. This one is a classic ghost story. It's about a guy whose wife has committed suicide. Before she died, she made reservations at a hotel in Scotland. He goes to stay there and finds, yeah, it's haunted, but strangely the hauntings are very personal. I do love me a good ghost story, so looking forward to reading this. And next up we have Lies Beneath by Anne Greenwood Brown. I'm not really a big fan of mermaids unless they're killing people, which they do in this book, so I had to pick it up. This one is about a clan of mermaids that want to get revenge on this guy, so they send their son to go and seduce the dude's daughter. But just as things are about ready to come to a head, he decides, he's kind of in love with this chick. So what's gonna happen? I don't know. I'm gonna read it and let you guys know later. And I got another review copy called Tales from Valley View Cemetery. This one is supposed to be a lot like Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which I loved when I was a kid. So I am looking forward to reading this one, The Lulls. Okay, the next book is one of my favorite horror novels of all time. This is Suffer the Children by Craig DeLuey. It's about a virus that kills all of the children in the world. The families bury their kids, and then 3 days later, the kids come back. At first, everyone's really overjoyed and they bring their kids home, but the kids aren't quite right. And then they start asking for blood. The parents bleed themselves to have their children back, and it works. For a pint of blood, you get your kid back for 1 hour, and then they go back into this zombie-like state. But as time progresses, the kids need more and more blood, and the question becomes, how much blood are you willing to shed to have your kid back? This is a truly horrific novel that had me on the edge of my seat the entire time. The reason this one is in my haul is because while I did already own this, I just got it back from author Craig DeLuey, and he signed it for me and sent it back. So it says, "How far would you go, Craig?" And I highly, highly recommend this book to anybody looking for a truly horrifying read. And next up, I have Breed by Chase Novak. I don't know a whole lot about this one, except for that it was recommended by Stephen King, and it sounds really creepy. It's about this couple who's tried all of these infertility treatments to have a child. They finally go to this place out in the middle of Slovakia and try something really experimental, and it works. They have twins, but then the book jumps 10 years into the future, and the children are locked in their rooms every single day, and they hear horrible noises coming from the other side of their door. They then decide that it's time to finally learn the truth about their existence and their parents. This one sounds like it's gonna be really good. And the next one is a classic that I've just never gotten around to reading. It is House of Leaves by Mark Danielewski. A lot of you have probably already read this. It's about this guy who is investigating this haunted house, but what's really interesting about this book is the narrator is reading the same book that we're reading. And there's crazy stuff in here. There are pages where the words are circular. There are pages where they're in different colors. But it's supposed to be an awesome mystery and one of the best horror novels ever written. So I think it's time I read this bad boy. All 660 something pages of it. Right. And of course, the next book is Slash Dreams by my good friend and fellow horror addict, Ronnie Angel. This is the ultimate guide to slashers. It's got just about every slasher movie you can think of in here. It's full of interviews and trivia and top 10s. And so far, I'm really enjoying it and it's a lot of fun. It's hilarious and very informative. Cut!
So that's it!
Let me know in the comments below if you would like to see reviews on any of these books, if you've read any of these books, and if you did, what did you think of them? Thanks for watching!